Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day in London at the moment. It's super sunny and I'm really happy to be back in London after my holidays. Today, as you can tell from the title below, this video will be about redundancy and I'm here to kind of give you some advice on how to deal with redundancy, what my experience was, how I'm dealing with redundancy, and just some tips that may help you if you're going through the same process or maybe will be going through the process later down the line. So yeah, let's just get started. So I've put down some tips and some kind of advice and just some pointers on my phone, so do excuse me that I'm reading off the phone. This is why I'm doing that. So let's just go straight into it. I think it'd be only fair if I tell you a bit of background of why I'm doing this video and why I've been made redundant. Let's get right into it. So in 2018, right at the end, in December, my role was made redundant. I'm not going to mention any organisations or people's names in this video, but I was a gallery coordinator, and the gallery decided to close due to structural changes in the company. So hence my role was made redundant, and I was 25 at the time. So it was obviously a shock. I didn't know what redundancy actually really meant. You know, you hear it here and there, and then when it actually happens to you, you're like, oh, right, so this is how it feels, this is what it means. There's a lot of things going through your head when you are made redundant. It's a long process. It's quite, you during the process you feel quite tense, you feel like what's happening, because you don't really understand. If you're going through it for the first time, you don't really know what's going on. You have about 4 meetings with HR, with your boss, and all these different things. So it is a process. So from December last year till now, I still haven't found a job, but I have been interviewing, and I kind of want to talk to you about how I've been dealing with this, some of the tips that I can give to you, some advice that I can give to you on how to deal with it if you are going through it. And I really hope you kind of take away something from this video at the end. So I've also written, a few pointers I want to read out to you from my phone and kind of go into more detail when I'm doing so. So the first point is how to deal with redundancy at a young age, where people surrounding you have jobs, and how it's so tough to find the right job. So I would definitely say after I left my job, I was very much in the dark. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do, even though I've been in the creative industry only for 2 years, so it's a very short period of time. All these different things were going through my head, and one of the first things was, how am I going to make money? Like, it might sound strange, you might be thinking, oh, I'm just get a part-time job somewhere, but like, as soon as I was told my role was going to be made redundant, I thought to myself, how am I going to make money? Like, where's the money going to come from? Like, it's going to take time, and how am I going to live? Like, so many different things are going through my head. So some of the things that might go through your head might sound stupid to others, but it's so legit. Like, I was having such weird thoughts, and I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to live. I'm not going to be happy. I don't have the skills, for a new job. I have to start all over again. There's so much going through your head at this point, and it's okay. Like, these things are gonna happen. And so when I left the job, and I obviously was very much in the dark, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and everyone around me was doing so well in their career, and I was just like, why me? Like, why did this happen to me? Like, a job for me is the most important thing in my life. Like, for me, it's about education and jobs. I'm getting the right job. I have nothing else. Like, so for me to lose my job, it really, it was a big shock. So, and I knew I had to start all over again. And it was scary. and to be around people who are doing so well. Like, I support all my friends and I think they're doing such a great job. I think I just think at that point I was just a bit like, oh, why me? Do you know what I mean? I just felt like sorry for myself. And yeah, and then I realized that, you know, after in December, no one's really looking, companies aren't really looking for new employees. So, and that I didn't realize until this year, and it was a very tough period. I was like, oh my god, no one's hiring. None of the jobs I want are like on Indeed or like LinkedIn. No one's contacting me back, and I was just thinking, great, I'm never gonna get a job. Like, this is the end. This is gonna be the end of me. So I think, so after all of that, I then started to kind of understand that December is going to be a time where most people are going on holiday. It's going to be a very quiet period for recruiters, for any company to be recruiting, and maybe in the new year it's going to be fresh, and I'm going to start again and look for jobs. So I think it's definitely going to be tough at certain points in the year to try and find a job, but as soon as that kind of passes over, companies will suddenly start posting new jobs. So secondly, be open to new career paths. So this one's very important, and I think everyone should really be doing this. So because I was a gallery coordinator, I always thought it'd be good to just go into a gallery role or go down that path. However, I realized I have other interests. I like social media, I like digital marketing, I like just communicating with people, do you know what I mean? So I wanted to try and find a role that would incorporate all those different things. And I realized that I didn't want to stay in the gallery world. I wanted to branch out and see if I can get into the world of digital marketing or social media. So I did. I started applying for roles that was solely based on marketing, and bearing in mind I don't have much experience in marketing. However, I knew that I was so interested in it, I was ready to learn. I really wanted that to come across in my interviews. So yeah, so I would definitely say apply to jobs that you may not have before, because you never know if you're going to get it or not. It's going to be, I just think, take risks at this point, because what are you going to lose? They're going to say, if the worst they can say is no, you don't have much experience, then you look for another one, or go down the path that you feel more comfortable with. But I definitely say branch out, look at new areas, think about doing an MA, like just have a fresh outlook on what you want to do and what your interests are. I think that's very, very important. Repeat that. Remember, this is not the end. It is a time to find yourself again and find what you love doing. So obviously in the beginning you're going to start thinking, you're going to have all these negative thoughts in your head, like you just think, oh, I'm never going to find a job, I've lost my job, I'm never going to make money anymore, I'm never going to do something I love, what's my direction in life? Like, all these questions are going to go through your head. Well, it went through mine. So I just think it's very important to make sure that you are keeping yourself busy, having a routine, making sure that you're making yourself happy again, because you might be in a really dark place before, but you need to make sure you get to a happy stage, because if you don't have a goal, it's going to be flat. It's going to be flat, and you're not going to be able to, you know, go like this. You're just going to be going like this, or maybe just like this, if that makes sense. And I think I only realized that I needed a goal and a routine very late in the process of me trying to find a role or a job. So it was more like 4 months in, you know, not having a routine or having a goal that I wanted to achieve. So that's quite a long time. So I would definitely recommend having one. So like 4 kind of, maybe 4 ideas that you could kind of look into to make yourself feel better and have a routine would be, pick up a hobby. If you like netball, find a sports club that does netball. If you like photography, there are so many courses, such as in City Lit. They do short courses in photography. Do that. You know, find a hobby. If it's reading, go read in a park. No one's stopping you. You have the time. Go do it. Go to the gym. So let me give you an example of myself. When I lost my job, I decided, I decided not to go through with like the direct debits for the gym membership, because I thought, never gonna have money. Like if I'm spending 20, I think it was like really cheap as well. It was like £20 a month. So I stopped paying the gym membership, which then led to me not going to the gym, and I was just sitting there eating my snacks, going to McDonald's, you know, gaining all this weight and just feeling unhealthy and really just wanted to sleep all day. And then after about a month and a half, I realized this is not how I want to live, and I want to be healthy again, and I want to get myself in a better place. So I decided to join the gym again, and since then, can I just say, I have been waking up at 5:30 every single morning, except Sundays, but 5:30 every single morning and going to the gym. This has made me so happy. It's created a routine. It's made me realize that I should be getting up earlier, because I feel like now I'm actually a morning person when I thought I wasn't. And I feel more healthy. Do you know what I mean? I just feel healthy, and I think it's so important to do that. Just find a balance and make sure that you stick to it. So the next point I would say is travel. And why I'm saying this is, you might think to yourself, yeah, but I want to find a job. Like, I can't, if I don't find a job, how will I have the money to go traveling? Like, and it's a valid point. And I think, obviously you may have saved some money and you really have a passion to explore the world. You want to see what's out there. And I also think, and people were telling me this, you're never going to get this free time again. You know, you're never going to be able to just go and do whatever you want the whole day. Like, you have the time, go do it. And I think I learned that the hard, like I regret not going traveling. Like, so for example, in the beginning, I was so close to booking various trips, but I never clicked the book button, because I was so nervous that if I book it, what if I get an interview on the day I leave, or like during my trip? For me, it was all about, I need a job. Like, and that's what I'm going to do until I'm not going to do anything until I get a job. And bearing in mind, I still don't have a job, and it's already been like 6 months. So I could have done it, but you don't do it because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. But I believe that take risks, and just do what you love and go traveling. Like, jobs will come and go, but you'll never get the time to go traveling like this. You know, you could just easily just pick up your bags and go traveling for like a month or even 3 weeks. Like, you have the time, go do it. So I would definitely say, whilst you're traveling, if you do decide to travel, maybe try and go on your own. You don't always need to go with someone. Like, I think it's so important to understand yourself and gain that confidence back again. I think sometimes when you're made redundant, you lose it, and it's so important to have that confidence, because when you go to interviews, that's what interviewers are looking for. They're looking for confident people who are able to, you know, speak about their passions. And if you've been traveling as your passion, go do it, because you can talk to them about that in the interview when they ask you, what have you been doing during this time? And I think if travel is your passion, go do it, because you're never going to get this time again, and it's so important to take this time to be doing it. Fourth point I want to look at is get to know yourself. And sometimes you can lose yourself along the way, and that's okay, because you are going through a rough patch. It's easy to give up, but that isn't healthy. It's easy, especially because it will make you feel like you don't have a routine in your life anymore. My advice is make one. Don't just sit around waiting for someone to make one for you, because it's not going to happen, honey. It's not going to happen. Jill next door isn't going to make a routine for you. Mom's not going to make a routine for you. You are the one that needs to make the routine for yourself. Like, you know you, so you know what you're good at, you know what you'll do. You're the one doing the routine, so do it the way you want to do it and make sure you do one. If that even made any sense, like, I don't even know, but I hope it did. So yeah, don't sit back, don't be lazy. It's tough, I know, but I've been there, I've done that. I've had naps during the day, I've woken up at 10, I've eaten unhealthy, I've done that. But then you start to realize, this is how I want to live my life. You only have one life, so remember, use it wisely, because you only have one life and you only have this time really to do what you want to do, so do it. I'm also saying this, if you ever feel like you want to cry, or you just want to lie down, or you just want to be by yourself and you don't want anyone around you, I would definitely advise having some music on in the background and just taking some time to sit on your own, watching Netflix, or, you know, just enjoy your own company. Sometimes you need to let it out. I think when people say, no, you have to be strong, or you can't cry, it's a sign of weakness, it's untrue, because we all deal with difficult situations in our life in a very different way. And if that is the way that you want to deal with it, you are like, you do you. Like, you do you. I cannot emphasize that more. You do you. You do what's best for you. I would always also definitely recommend just having some music in the background, even if you don't want to watch your computer. I just think still having some noise there is very important, so you know you're not drifting into complete silence or darkness. I think it's very important to have some noise, so that's something I would definitely it's a tip I would definitely say helps. And also, don't be afraid of failure. It's going to happen. I think for me, for example, during my whole academic life, I've always failed. Like, when it comes to exams, or, you know, in high school, GCSE, A-level, I've always found it difficult. I am dyslexic, so I always knew, you know, I'm not going to come top of the class. I'm not going to be the best at maths. I'm not going to be the best at punctuation and English. And I think from failure, you really start to understand what works for you. And when my role was made redundant, I started to realize I felt like that part, redundancy, was a failure again in my life. Like, I failed again, when it really wasn't me. It was just like the company's restructure. However, I could not help but think it was another failure that I had to overcome. And it was definitely difficult, because it's not easy. For me personally, because I've constantly failed in certain topics or subjects, to suddenly be at a level which I really like in my job and then again lose that, it was a bit like a failure for me. People will think otherwise, but for me it really was. What I'm trying to say is, you're not always going to get the job you want. It's not going to be an easy path. You are having to start again. They may say to you, you don't have the right skills, but at least you tried. And I think that's the main thing. You're going through a very rough patch in your life, and it's a bump that you need to overcome. However, I feel that even though these may seem like failures, it's going to make you upskill yourself, build yourself, and create and make sure that when you go into the next interview, you're more confident. And I think maybe sometimes when we apply for certain roles, we sometimes think, oh, I'm not going to get it because I can't do that part of the job. My mum always told me, no one knows everything. Like, when they apply for a role, you know what I mean? You go and learn on the job. And it's important to understand that. And I think the last part I really want to talk about is what I've learned from this whole process, and how I've overcome my negative thoughts, and how I've become more of a positive person. And when I go into interviews, I'm really learning how to have fun. So for example, I applied for a tech company, you know, which are, and they're still in the like marketing, social media kind of role. Bearing in mind I don't have much experience, but I applied and I went for an interview, and you know, interview didn't go too well, and I was a bit like, oh no, not again, like this. I over prepared myself, and I think that's one thing that you shouldn't do. Just make a few points and make sure you can expand on them when you go to the interview and they ask you questions. So I then realised when applying how much I love researching about technology and AI and VR and drones and how it's affecting us today and the economy. And you know, I was so amazed of how well I wrote a certain piece of writing about technology. If you'd asked me to write this about 6 or 7 months ago, I'd be like, are you mad? Like, no way will I be able to write about technology. But because I had applied for a different role that I wouldn't normally go for, it opened up a new door. Like I actually now can say I love technology and I love learning about technology because I read so much and I was so interested in the subject. It just made me think, maybe this is a path I can actually look at and go into. So even though the interview didn't go very well, what I gained from it was the love for technology, and I wanted to do more and learn more. So I thought, what if I do an MA in a topic that I can write about technology in? So I kind of did some research over some time, and I found an MA which is to do with digital media, communications and critical thinking. And I realized that by doing this course, I'll be able to write about technology and how it's affecting the world and digital media and all this kind of different avenues. So I really felt like, even though you might think you fail, you've actually gained something in some way or the other. Like for me, even though I felt like I didn't do well, I gained like the love for technology, and that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say this is a time for you to really understand yourself, understand what you love, understand what makes you tick, and understand what you want to spend time doing. And even if the job interviews don't go well, don't worry. There's going to be one that goes really well, and it's going to be the right one for you. So for me at the moment, I am looking into doing an MA in the media, communication and critical thinking course in London, and never would I have thought would I do a master's, but because of this interview that I went to, even though it didn't go well, like I mentioned, it made me realise I actually found a new love for technology. So everything happens for a reason, and I believe we are capable of anything we put our mind to it. I've had many ups and downs in my life, but you know, I'm still overcoming the fact that I was made redundant, that my role was made redundant. But sometimes I think to myself, it's a blessing in disguise, because it's made me look into new opportunities, new roles. I'm doing things that I love. I'm going traveling. I have all the time to create content. I love you know, uploading images on my social media. I love writing blogs, and I have the time to do it, as well as trying to find jobs and stuff. So I do believe, utilize this time. Make sure you're doing all that you can to help yourself and build yourself back up, build that confidence, and it will happen. You will be okay. It's not the end of the world. And I really hope this video has helped you in one way or the other, made you feel like it's not only you that's going through this and having all these emotions that you may think are stupid, but they're not. You're feeling them for a reason, and I really believe that one day you're going to realize why you went through this hardship in your life. It's going to be a positive outcome. Have a positive outlook, and always remember it's going to be okay. Because if someone had told me that, like, it's going to be okay, and like really meant it, like I am doing now, it would have given me a bit more hope. And when in the beginning of the process, and I wouldn't have been so scared and all that. So I think just remember, be yourself, be positive, be happy, do things that you love doing, and be around positive people, be around your family, enjoy the time, and just be happy. I think that's some of the most important things that you need to be doing right now in your life when you're looking for jobs, because that's going to show when you go to interviews, and that's what's going to sometimes make you stand out from other candidates. And I wish you good luck. And yeah, that's the end of this video. It's been a good one, I hope. I love talking about this topic and giving some advice, and I hope you take something away from it. Do leave comments below. I love reading comments. I'm pretty new to YouTube, so I don't have many subscribers, so please subscribe. I'm going to be uploading videos quite frequently, and some really cool ones like hauls, vlogs, travel, makeup, all that kind of stuff. Follow me on Instagram. It's all about anu_. I'm posting every day there about my daily life, so do check it out. Share this video and enjoy your life and be happy. Bye.